Run it.
You, my heart, my mind will change, my desire, and my whole life. I need your rain, healing rain, fall on me, and heal my heart. My mind will change, my desire, and my whole life. Need your rain, just open the heavens, and heal my heart, say. My mind will change, my whole life. I'm asking for your rain. One more time, let it rain, say. My heart say, my mind will change, my desire. I'm asking for that you will let it running, that you will run the heavens and pour down your lot of rain, send the rain. My mind will change, my desire, and my life. Fall on me, heal my heart, Lord. My mind will change, my desire, and my whole life.
All right, welcome back. Apologize for a little technical difficulty here. So we are talking about the first definition of marriage, and for those of you that have been following, we are touching on some big themes and titles and topics. So I want you to stay with me as we run through the first definition of marriage. We are saying that marriage is like customer service work. Your partner is your number one customer you don't want to lose, because your marriage is your home, and therefore you want to do everything to keep your partner. Not because you don't know that they have offended you, not because you don't know that they are lazy, not because you don't know that they are selfish, but you are still nice to them because you understand the bottom line of marriage, which is you want to create a peaceful and a nice environment where your soul can find a place to sleep. If you quarrel, if you complain, if you get pissed off at everything that your partner will do, you will end up creating a toxic environment for your own soul. So you don't have time for that. So sometimes you ignore their nonsense and you still act nice to them because you are doing it for yourself. The second thing I said is that the reason you are nice to your partner is basically because marriage is not refundable. Marriage is not refundable. The love you put in marriage, you don't get it back if the marriage collapses. It's gone, and it's gone forever. And therefore, you don't have time to invest this much love in a marriage and not be nice about it. Psychologically, anytime you buy something expensive, you think it is nice, even if it's not nice. In the same way, once you get into marriage, understand that I pay dearly for this. I pay with all my heart for this marriage. Therefore, I will make sure that I act nice to keep this thing, because my bonwaka So I have to keep it. And therefore, I'll be nice to my partner because of the bottom line, which is I will not get my love back if this marriage destroyed. So I have to be nice to my partner all the time so that I can keep this going. Do you understand that? All right. So that is the second reason why you have to be nice to your partner all the time. The third reason is because of the time you have invested in the marriage. These are the bottom lines. The time you are in. Most of us, we think that mothers will say, I stay in the marriage because of the kids. No. You stay in the marriage because of the time you have put in building that marriage. So you are nice to the partner because of the time. That is why I want to stop here and tell every person who is married. It doesn't make sense for you to marry somebody for about 6 years, and then within 3 weeks, when he start going out or cheating on you with somebody that he met 4 weeks ago, you say, I don't like the marriage anymore. What? You have been in this marriage for 9 years, and just few days, this guy met a girl, and they have gone out for 4 weeks. And you are going to throw your 9 years away just because somebody is coming in for 4 weeks. Oh no. Marriage is not refundable. Even if you don't like the guy, don't let him go anywhere. Trust me, if you don't like the person you are married to, still stay with him, because the time you are put in is too much for him to go. And be nice to him, and the love will come back. I want you to know that you have bought something with your heart and your time. It is yours. That is why your name is on this union. Marriage is a property. Marriage is a personal, godly institution that you own. You own the marriage, so you don't let anything just let it die. It will not die, not on your watch. Some of you, the person you have been with, you met a long time ago, and from the age, my wife told me this. It says, from the age of 21 up to now, we have been together, and all of a sudden, you are having you can't change your anything. So the reason you are nice to your partner is because the time you are put in a relationship, you can't get it back. You've been with somebody for 12 years. Where are you going to get the 12 years for another person again? So I will be nice to you. I will treat you nicely because I have invested too much of my time in this for me to just fight you. No, I will not fight you. I will make sure that my 2, 3, 4, 5 years is not waste, because when I leave you, I can get those years back. I don't have time to go start afresh with another person's nonsense. I will deal with this nonsense. This one, I understand this nonsense. Because everywhere you go, there's a nonsense over there also. So the reason you are nice to your partner all the time is because the time you have put in the marriage, you can't get it back. The time you have put in the marriage, you can't get it back. And the other non-refundable is the money you have put in the marriage. You can't get those things back. Some people have the prenuptial whatever, where you get some of the thing back after divorce, but you don't want divorce. If you want divorce, you wouldn't have come to marry. I'll do a show on divorce. Divorce is not divorce is not as divorce is not as a move as you think. I know some people who are miserable after the divorce because their baby mama and dada is driving them crazy. They don't have no peace. They are using the kids to make your life miserable. So you want to be nice to keep the marriage because of the bottom line. The money you have invested is not refundable. The love you have invested is not refundable. And that is why you are nice all the time. Because of the bottom line. The home you have created is not refundable. You see that when you get married and children come in, you can't refund the children. With the children, you can easily see that they are not refundable. They can't go back to where they came from. But the same thing is true for the love you put in. The same true is for the time you put in. The same thing is true for all the years you have put in. And all the love and all the time you have put in. And so it's important that you understand that because of the bottom line of marriage, you are not going to act any way but nice. And the point is, your partner might not know why you are nice. That is because maybe they are not mature like you. But the point is that you are nice, you are saying sorry, you are acting like a fool in the marriage because you don't have time to go waste anywhere else. You understand the whole thing? Like when you, trust me, it's just like a business. When you start a business, it's just like a church. I have a pastor for a church. If you plant a church for about 8 to 9 years and the church become established and they take you away from there to go start a new church, it's not easy. The same labor again. Do you understand? So once you build something for 5 years, 6 or 7 years, I know when I have 50 definitions, so calm down. I told you I have 50 definitions of marriage. So you might have questions. Pastor, how about this? I'm sure one of the 50 will answer your questions. It's a book coming out. When it comes out, I'll let you know. You can grab your copy. I'm going to print it very soon. I was going to print it this year, but I want to promote it very well. So I'm pushing for next year to print the book. 50 definitions. So I know you have questions. Pastor, what if it's trying to kill me? Pastor, what if this, that? Don't you worry about a thing. I have 50 definitions of marriage. So one of them will answer your question. But this angle is one of the definitions that marriage is like customer service work. Your partner is your number one customer you don't want to lose. You have to keep that guy. You have to keep that girl. No matter what, make it difficult for them to leave you. Kill them with niceness. They act a fool and you still treat them nice. They act a fool and you still respect them. Because of the bottom line of the marriage. And what ends up happening is, as you begin to act in that kind of way, you make them fall in love with you. There are some people, they can't go to anybody because nobody can take the nonsense you take from them. And like I said, I'm going to talk to you about another part of marriage that you can't do nothing about it, you know. When somebody wants to leave you, you can't force them and everything. But understand this, that you are nice to the person, not because they deserve it. You are nice to the person because the institution that you paid for is important to you. It is the home for your soul. It's a home for your children. It's a home you want to create. So you let some things go. You don't fight over many things because you understand the bottom line of the marriage. That the bottom line of the marriage has nothing to do with the character. It has something to do with the character of your partner, but it doesn't have it. It's more about the home I want to create. It's more about the peace I want. It's more about the investment I have made. It's more about creating longevity for something that is going to bless me, my children, and even that foolish partner who is driving me crazy. Divorce doesn't solve problems. It changes it into another rules of engagement. Especially when children are involved, divorce doesn't solve the problem. It changes it to a different level of engagement. Sometimes, oh God, when you divorce a person, the hatred increases, the stupidity increases, the harassment increases. Police must come in and it's like a whole mess. And the kids are very young. So you have 18 years to deal with this person. Oh, God help me. So you are nice because of the institution you are running. And you are running the institution to make sure it's successful. So you swallow your pride, and people will think you are crazy. People will think you are stupid. The same people will come and say, when I left my marriage, I have regretted leaving my marriage. Because when you are mad, you think your marriage is a curse. But after you throw it away, you realize that you didn't understand. So anybody who is a customer service representative that starts fighting the customer, immediately they fire her or they change the position that she's doing, because she has no idea why she's there for. She thought she's there to correct people. She thought she's there to tell people, ma'am, you are stupid. You went and put the negative side on the positive side. That's why the thing didn't work. They think that's what customer service is for. But even if the customer is stupid, you don't tell the ma'am you are stupid. You just say, ma'am, I'm so sorry. Usually the instruction says you should do it like this. I'm going to replace it for you. Why? Because of the bottom line of the business. So the reason you are nice to your partner all the time is because of the bottom line of the business. I'll be right back. Before I wrap this up to go to definition number 2, I'll be right back to take any questions, concerns, and any comments that you have. All right. Enjoy. God bless you.
Young Trill on the beat.
Such a good feeling. Everything will be alright. I've got such a good feeling. Everything will be alright. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Everything will be alright. I've got such a good feeling. Everything will be alright. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Everything will be alright. Oh, 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 oh. Oh, 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 oh. I feel my help is coming. Shine, goodness and mercy shall follow me. I feel alright. Shine, goodness and mercy shall follow me. I feel alright. My help is coming. My hope is rising. My strength is coming. I feel alright. My help is coming. My hope is coming. My strength is coming. I feel alright. I've got such a good feeling. Everything will be alright. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Everything will be alright. It doesn't matter.
All right. Welcome back to Night Talk. So we are dealing with our first definition of marriage, and I believe that some people are really thinking about it and wondering how practical can this be. But I want you to know that keep that as one of the 50 definitions, so that there's a place in the marriage where you have to act like a customer service to your partner. You have to be nice even if you don't feel like it. You have to be nice even if she doesn't deserve it. You have to be nice even if he does. The whole thing is you have to win your partner back. And once upon a time, you used to love him. Once upon a time, you used to love her. So that is all that you are trying to do again. To win her love back again. To win his love back again. So that you can continue to do this thing, because you have invested too much of your time, too much of your love, too much of your money. I said before that if you think about the cost of wedding, you shouldn't fight anymore. When you are fighting about Pepsodent, you are fighting about this and that, and then you remember the cost of the wedding, you should go hug each other and say, hey, Charlie, this thing is expensive. Let's not fight. We pay too much for this. And right away, you go back and hug each other. And the whole point is that don't fight. Don't destroy this expensive thing. The money is the easy part. The money is the easiest part of the whole thing. So don't fight. Don't, you know what I'm trying to say? Understand what you guys have. What you have is not just each other. You have bought an institution with your time, with your sacrifice, with your love. And that institution runs as a business entity, as a family business entity, as a family. And the point I'm making is that the marriage is bigger than just a business. So if people don't want their business to collapse, then you don't want your marriage to collapse, because marriage is higher than a business. So if people are doing their best to keep a business running, you have to do your double best to keep. So anybody that will use their business to destroy their marriage, they will live to regret. Let me share certain things with you before I go to definition number 2. Anytime you get the chance to sit next to a very successful person, a very great person, either is in the academic world, either is in the business world, either is in the Christian world, all the great people who have accomplished a lot, on their deathbed, what they say is that they wish they had spent time with their family. They wish they have taken care of their family. Even those who do great, even Billy Graham, in his last days, he said he wished he had spent time more with the family. Your family is more important than anything. If you manage it correctly, you'll be the happiest person on earth. If you manage your marriage with these customer service techniques, you'll be the happiest person on earth. Marriage is better than a paycheck. A big paycheck and a small marriage is not a good thing. Marriage is better than Facebook. Marriage is better than food. Marriage is better. So you want to make sure that you are running your marriage with a lot of customer service, a lot of care. Don't neglect your customer. Make sure your customer is happy. Satisfy your customer in every department. Let your customer give you A1 review. Go extra mile to make your wife happy. Go extra mile to make your husband happy. Those who fight, those who poison your partners, those who hate your partners, those who curse your partners, those who wish your partner dies, you just don't know what you're doing. You don't know what you're doing if you wish your partner dies. If you wish curse, you insult your partner. You just don't know how to run the family. I want to tell you, you can be happy single, but to go to marriage and come out happy is a different thing altogether. After you divorce, let me give you some statistics so that you wake up. First marriages, there is 50% chance that the marriage will work. When you go inside and you come out again, the second marriage, there is 70% chance it will not work. 70% chance that your second marriage will not work. There's a 50% chance your first one will not work. But there's a 70% chance that your second one will not work. The reason is because after divorce, your life turns into an angle that is not easy to control. I'll be right back.
Joy in my heart, I got joy in my heart. My joy is flowing like a river. There is a river whose streams make glad. The city of our God. I got joy in my heart. I got joy in my heart. There is a river whose streams make me glad. Oh, from the city of our holy God. I got joy in my heart. I got joy in my heart. Joy in my heart. I got it. My joy is flowing like a river. I got joy.
I got joy.
I got peace.
I got peace.
I got love.
I got love.
I got hope from the city of our God. Got love. I got peace.
I got peace.
I got hope. I got love
I got love.
from the city of our God. 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 I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. My joy is flowing like a river. I got joy in my heart. I got joy in my heart. My joy is flowing like a river. I got joy in my heart. I got joy in my heart. My joy is flowing like a river. I got joy in my heart. I got joy in my heart. My joy is flowing like a river. I got it. I got it. I got it. From the city of our God. I got it. 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 Let the river flow. 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 Flow. River flow.
All right, welcome back to Nine Talk. So we're doing the first definition of marriage. All right, so for the next few minutes, I'm going to open up for questions. So the number to call is 860-756-0263. 860-756-0263. Call in with your questions, concerns. Again, this is the first out of 55 definitions of marriage. Definition in the book, this is not number one, but I just pick one for the show as number one. But the first one I'm dealing with is that marriage is like customer service work. Your partner is your number one customer you do not want to miss. So that's what we're dealing with. So test your questions or call in and let's talk. This is Nine Talk with your boy, Pastor Kwame. God bless you. So, let's continue with the conversation. So, please call in, let's talk, and let's chit chat. I am talking about the need to understand why you got married in the first place. And I want you to understand that the marriage is not about the two of you. It's about the institution that you've established. Do you understand? is about the institution that you have established. And because of the institution you have established, you must bring certain institutional implements. You must implement some institutional policies from your side that will make sure that you are using the skill of customer service to make sure your customer is happy. Your partner is your customer. You are in covenant with that person. And so you want to make sure they are happy all the time. You do everything in your power to make them happy. And you are not stupid. You are not a fool. You know what they have done wrong, but you understand that they don't know. If they know why they are married to you, they will also start acting properly. Because when the two of you start acting nice to each other, you will form the best thing for your soul. A happy marriage is the best thing in life. Let me tell you this. Give you some statistics. I think they studied about 500 people. 500 people for 40 years. 500 people for 40 years. And after the 40 years was over, they realized that all the 500 people, the first people that died early were those who didn't get married at all. Loneliness killed them fast. If you don't have nobody to share your life with, when diseases come, your soul will not fight it, because your soul is inside you saying, after all, what am I here for? Human beings were not created to be alone. So those who did not get married, they died early. The rest are those who died early. Most of them were those who didn't get married at all. Not to say that marriage is why you don't die. The second group of people that died out of the study were people that were married to wrong people. They were married, but their marriage was toxic. Most of them died because of that. And the last group were those who were in a marriage that it wasn't too awesome, but it wasn't bad. They also live longer. And lastly, those who live very long were those who were in a very happy marriage. So the reason you are nice to your partner is because you are trying to create a happy marriage. That's why you forgive. That's why you let things go, so that your soul will find a happy place to live long and flourish. So all the niceness you are doing, all the kindness, all the respect is because you want to create a peaceful place for yourself. You want to create a nice home for yourself. You want to create a very awesome atmosphere for yourself. That's the reason. So, time is almost up. I'm going to wait for some phone calls and some questions to come through. If nothing comes through, then I'm going to just touch a little bit on definition number 2. But I promise that we will deal with it into detail when I come next Tuesday. So, before we go to number 2, I want to talk about the difference between a man and a husband, and the difference between a woman and a wife, because that is going to help definition number 2. So I'm going to spend a few minutes we have to talk about the difference between a man and a husband and a wife and a woman. Okay. All right. So there is a difference, and you must see it and know it and understand it, that a wife and a woman are two different people. A husband and a man are two different people. And a husband is not just a man who is married. A wife is not just a woman who is married. Not at all. When you are a wife, there are certain things that you can do. But when you are a woman, also there are certain things that you can do. That means that the things a woman can do is different from the things a wife can do. And I'm going to break that down for you, before we close the show for today. And then and next time, I will talk about the second definition. So the first thing is that if we're a man, right, you can say that, I'm a man. That's why I can't stay with one woman. As for me, I'm a man. A man may be able to say that, but a husband cannot say that. You understand? So there are certain privileges, there are certain rights, there are certain things that is associated to men in general. Do you understand? Like men are like this, men are like that. When you want to change from a man to a husband, certain things will change. Do you hear me? If you want to be a man, stay single. Because husbands are just a kind of a men who don't just do things like just a man. You can't cheat and say, as for me, I'm a man. If you want to stay cheating, don't get married. So you can change women all you want. But so long as you move from the camp of a man to a husband, understand that the rules are changed. You understand? So there are some things a man can do, a husband cannot do. A man can stay out of all he wants. A husband cannot. He has a family to protect. A man can spend his money anyway. A husband cannot. He has a family to provide to. A man can do whatever he wants with his life. A husband cannot. People depend on a husband. So when you are moving from a man to a husband, remember you are changing citizenship. You are changing camps. So you cannot say, you cannot be a man in a marriage. You have to be a husband in a marriage. So you don't get certain privileges. You understand that? So understand that there's a difference between a man and a husband. And there's nothing wrong to be a man. But understand that in marriage, you can't be a man. You have to be a husband. And it's a totally different ball game altogether. It's a totally different game plan altogether. The requirements are different. The rules are different. The responsibilities are different. And all the things that comes with it are different. So I wanted to understand that. In the same way, if you want to be a woman, be a woman. If you want to be a woman, be a woman. If you want to be a woman, be a woman. But if you want to be a wife, get ready to not say, as for me, I'm a woman. Let me give you a funny example. Whenever some women that are upset, they don't say anything. When some women, when you upset them, they don't say anything. They just stay quiet. If you become a wife, you can't do that. Because when you go to the second definition of marriage, it says that marriage is like a phone call. You get your point across by talking, not by making faces. Did you hear that? Marriage is like a phone call. You get your point across by talking, not by making faces. So if you're a woman and you get upset and you don't say anything, when they ask, you say nothing. Even though something is bothering you, you can do that if you're a woman. But if you're a wife, you have to learn to express yourself, because marriage is a verbal institution. That's what we're going to talk about next week. So understand that there are certain things you can do as a wife, or there are certain things you can do as a woman. When you become a wife, you can't do that anymore. When you become a wife, you can't just do anything anyhow, because right now you have accepted the role of a wife. It comes with some responsibilities. It comes with some behavior adjustments. It comes to some prioritizations. It comes to certain things that you must do, so that you know that I'm playing the role of a wife now. I'm not just a woman, I'm a wife. So I have to make sure that I am responsible to do my duties as a wife. And one of the duties of a wife is to communicate how you feel. And we'll get there when we talk about definition number 2. So these are very important and clear things you must adhere to. And as I said, so waiting for questions. Any question you have. I'm going to try. I'm almost out of time. I'm going to try and kind of work on some possible questions that listeners might have. So, for example, Somebody might say, Pastor, so how long should I stay nice? Should I be nice all the time, even when my partner keeps taking advantage of me, keep taking advantage of me? All right, definitely. Like I said, other definition will come in, but in marriage, you have to be nice all the time, but you have to also realize that even in businesses, there are policies that are involved. If a customer is not reasonable, they don't mind losing that customer, because you can't buy one product today and you go use it and come back, it's not good. You go use it and come back, it's not good. So within the reasonable frame of dealing with a customer, you have to be nice. But after the customer tries to take advantage of the part of the system, then you tell them that, unfortunately, ma'am, our policy says that you have to return it within these days to get your refund. So there are policies in the marriage. So when I say be nice all the time, I'm not saying that even when you find him cheating, you just say, oh, what a sexy boy. No. Within the marriage, there are some rules that are very important. But when it comes to maybe incidences that are not worth fighting about, that's where you act nice. But definitely, there are instances where you must let the rule in the marriage speak, so that your partner will be very responsible. So that is what I meant to say. So it's very important that you do that and make sure that you are understanding the rules of engagement, which is very, very important. All right. So almost about to wrap up now. Another question that might possibly come up is when somebody says that, as for me, I don't care if the marriage works or not, I'm okay. All right, so the danger with that is that life is too short to marry twice. Do you hear that? Life is too short to marry twice. And people are too the same to change partners. People are too the same to change partners. All too soon, I've come to the end of my show. I want to thank all of you for listening in. I'm going to pass down to my host at the center and connect with you again same time next week. God bless you. Send all your questions to the center CM Radio, and then next week we are going to talk about them. All right. Enjoy.
No man can curse.
Young Trill on the beat.
One like you. Welcome, Jesus. With this sound of worship, hallelujah,
Hallelujah.
hallelujah,
Hallelujah.
great I am, we bow down. We fall down at your feet. You holy.